Cool. I'm mad that the maximum amount for predictions you can put up is 30 minutes because I want to put up a poll.
Oh,
Oh no, you
but
know what? I can put up a poll. We just won't have the
okay,
answer until the end.
right.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Oh my god, this case. This
I'm very
case.
excited.
It's so much. It's so
Michael
much.
found it, right? Or told you about it?
Yes, yes. One of my improv teammates
Yes.
told me, he posted it in the Slack. He was like, I bet you know about this, but I just found out about it because it was mentioned in a game show. And I was like, no, I didn't know about this. And also, this is amazing. Like,
Aw,
oh my God.
I'm very
Um,
excited.
yeah, so I'm going to do that. And then I know Harrison had asked for Twisty when I put up the poll
Right.
on Friday, and it is Twisty. It is absolutely Twisty. I encourage uh the guessing of the twist. I don't think anyone's going to guess the twist. I don't think
Oh,
anyone.
oh, man.
Yeah. I'm real excited about that. Uh so how's your
It's
week
fun.
been though?
I have to say that I like it when I can't guess. Like I might be like frustrated in the moment because I'm like, what kind of a sleuth am I? But honestly, I like it when it's unexpected because everything is so like obvious these days.
To us
Um,
because we're experts.
yeah, well,
But I mean,
but also I think everything's kind of like I'm rarely surprised by much these days. So,
yeah.
um, I'm looking forward to something surprising.
Yeah.
But so did you watch Coming to America?
I haven't had a chance to watch the second one yet, but I
Okay.
finally watched the original. I had never seen the original.
What? Oh my God.
I didn't
Yeah,
have access to a lot of culture as a child.
you know what? It's good that you watched the original because some
Yeah.
of the callbacks are
Yeah.
really fun.
And that's why, yeah.
It's not, it's like really its own self-contained thing, but like I said, like there's just fun callbacks. But honestly, the second is completely different than the first. So I would say don't go into it expecting that it's going to be exactly like the first one because it's
Mm.
not. It's its
Right.
own thing.
Right.
But so I see people like not sure like what to think about it, but I'm like, it's honestly one of those movies. Like I won't give anything away, but it's just one of those movies that's like it feels like an 80s or night like an 80s comedy where it's
Yeah.
just like silly fun and like there's like no real consequences or stakes to it and like it's hopeful like there it just has a
Yeah.
hopeful feeling
Yeah.
and so few things in entertainment it dawned on me like while I was watching it I was like I never feel hopeful or I rarely feel hopeful in my entertainment. It's always like either true crime, which is like devastating, or just like kind of cynical. And it's just like one of those delightful, fun, like you're like there's no like real surprises or anything, but it's so much joy. And I think one of the best parts of it is that you can tell the whole time that they had so much fun making it. And I
Yeah.
think that's like the best part of it
I love
is that it's
those.
just like friends having fun and that's it's like improv. You when you know people are having fun, you don't even
Yes.
care if like what the content is. And that's
Yes.
how it felt to me.
Yes. Cool. Cool. Awesome.
I
I need
needed
something
that.
good.
Yes, I needed
Yeah.
something positive and good and like hopeful. And that's really what
Yeah.
it was.
Because
Uh,
Sunday I watched Megan and Harry, and then yesterday I watched Alan versus Pharaoh. So
oh yeah, yeah. I saw your
I
tweet
need
about it. I
something.
haven't watched the third one yet. But I saw your tweet. Was it your tweet or someone else's? I saw a few tweets about it.
I did
Um,
tweet about it.
you tweeted about it, but maybe it was someone I can't remember what yours was. What did you say about it?
Mine was about the people. He was like, people come up to me at Knicks
Oh,
games.
right. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah. That was
god.
the one. And I was like, I couldn't think of the way to say it, but I wanted to respond by like, yeah, that's a good measure of like the fact that you're a good person. Yeah, that's
Right.
what you want. People at a sports game to come up to you.
Right.
Like, not that they're not good people, but that's not the measure of like,
And also, I bet that didn't happen.
also, yes.
Right?
Also,
Like, how many
yeah.
of the people come up to me all the time and they say, "Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I support you, sir, what you're doing."
Right.
They
Yeah.
no, no one, no one.
No.
They're
I
all
thought,
imaginary people
yeah, it's just what
named
you
John Barron.
yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, it's just not true. So, yeah, I haven't watched that, but I did watch Unseemly, which is the Peter Nygaard documentary.
Okay.
And Andrea, I want you to watch it, but at the same time, like I don't want you to get triggered by it because the descriptions of
Yeah.
um are so like it's in terms of giving the victims voices, it does an absolutely beautiful job in that way because the stories are heartbreaking and they literally just let these women tell their stories, and some of them like didn't tell for like 30 years, and it's absolutely devastating the things that happen to them. It's horrific,
Yeah.
it's horrific, it's beyond horrific, but it gives them the space to speak their truth, and that is it's so powerful.
Yeah.
But it's also, so you have that part of it that's really like, you will feel like emotional, but then you have the part of it where you're like holy shit, like you're disgusted, you're mad, you're sad, and you're outraged. But then there's this, it's also like I wasn't laughing, but I was like aghast. But like it's one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. It's crazy. And the
Okay.
thing is, like, usually in those 4-part documentaries, like you get to the part where you're just like, okay, I understand how this guy operates. The last episode, they reveal in the preview for the last episode, and then it comes to fruition in the last episode, something that they wait till the end, and I literally screamed out loud.
Oh my God.
Because I was like, I cannot believe this also is part of the story. Like I literally
Wow.
was like, oh my God. So because I thought
Oh.
I knew the depth of how bad he was. And then like honestly, the things he did are so unbelievable. It sounds like a movie character.
Oh my God. What's it
Un
called?
it's called Unseemly.
Unseemly. That's right. You did say that. And what's it
And
on? Netflix?
it's not on Netflix.
I can look it up.
I think I watched it on ID, but I'm not sure if it's somewhere else. But it's, I mean, watch the first episode and see if you can get through it, because if you can, I
Yeah.
mean, the you will be I would love to talk about it because it's just like I've never heard anything like it. I mean, it's on par with like Epstein. It's on
Ugh.
par,
Okay, so it looks
but
like
it's like,
Discovery Plus.
yeah. Do you have
I'll look
that?
around. I don't.
Oh, damn
But
it.
maybe I'll do a 7 day free trial that I forget to forget to cancel.
I hate, you know what? It's really pissing me off how all these
Oh,
channels.
Mike is here. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yay, Mike.
Oh, Mike, I cannot wait to tell the rest of the story. If you only read the wiki, you are in for a ride.
Why is
There's so
everything
much.
paid for now? Like you have to pay a subscription for everything, a channel, a toothbrush, everything.
Hi, 100 RPM as requested. Following instructions. Thank you very much. I love it. Um, oh crap! I wanted to do an Instagram thing. I'm gonna be a little rude and not pay attention to you for like 1 second.
No, it's
If you can
okay. Do it.
please, you can just
Sometimes
watch me do an Instagram
hey,
thing.
let's just all stare at Andrea just in Instagramming.
Please help. We
Yeah, so
gotta get in the light.
if any of you have um investigation discovery, which I like put off getting it because I have like a not so secret love for 90 Day Fiance, but I was like I can't go all in on this like Discovery Plus because I'll just watch that all the time. But then when I realized they were also going to have tons of true crime, I was like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah.
um
It's worth it if you use it.
yeah, and so far the true crime shows have been excellent, and this documentary was the most unbelievable thing. I mean, I can't get over
Okay.
it. um
Hold on. Let me just pause you also.
okay.
And like, okay, hold on. This is the height of like social media millennial. I am live on our Twitch channel right now, Crime and Cookies, link in bio. This case was submitted by Mike from my improv team, and Harrison asked for a twisty one. And oh my God, the twists in this case, nobody is going to guess. I also have a prediction. You can win some points if you guess the twist. If you guess that someone guessed the twist, but no one's going to guess the twist. So that's my tip for you.
Did I not guess them out loud? Or am
Please
I
guess them out loud. Oh, hi, F Magic 01. Very happy to see you.
Yeah. I wonder if
Um,
any of you watched Murder Among Mormons, because that's another show I want to talk about.
that's on my Netflix. It comes up in my suggested.
Yeah. It's the most well-mannered true crime I've ever, because it's like very Mormon. the most well-mannered true crime I've ever seen. It's like very, very, everybody is so polite.
Oh,
And everybody is like quietly outraged. It's very, but it's well done, but it's not like I was not screaming at the TV. And honestly, I was like at one point I was organizing my books while I was watching, so it might have been that I was distracted, but I felt myself going in and out. But then when I got the further I got, the more I was like in on it. But I also figured out the twist in that one, which is a true
oh,
story. So I don't know why I'm calling it a twist, but they like delay something to it that I figured out right away. But that doesn't make me special at all. It
interesting.
just means I
Okay.
watch a lot of true crime.
Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, so I hold on. Let me now I have to reshare it on Crime and Cookies. I'm listening. I am listening.
No, it's okay.
You know what's funny? One of the cases, two of the cases that are pending that I have just like sitting in my possibilities are both Mormon, and one of them is
Ooh.
it's from the book Under the Banner of Heaven, which is very, very good. It's by the guy who wrote Into Thin Air about Everest,
Mm.
but it's about this murder of a Mormon woman and her child, and it traces back fundamentalism and kind of how that works psychologically
Mhm.
and how it functions in Mormonism and also doesn't like that kind of shift and how that happened.
Mhm.
And it gets into it. So that's one that I got from that book, but it also gets into the death of Brigham Young, which not Brigham Young, Joseph Smith.
The other one, yeah.
And Brigham Young is
Yeah.
there. He's a character. But and like that is wild. That is
Yeah, those
wild.
stories are, I'm really into all that stuff. Like in fact, my improv team, Hackett Park, I tried to join them and I got into such bad traffic that I couldn't make it, but they went to that the new Mormon temple in Philly before it closed down. And they said it
Oh.
was like wild.
The twist is the husband didn't do it. um no. Wrong. I'm not gonna put up my poll though. Let's start
Twist
that
is that
prediction in
the
the chat.
cat did it.
The
The
twist is
cat did it.
there is a cat. There is a cat in
Oh
this.
my God, look how good I am
There's a
at
cat.
guessing things.
The cat also did not do it.
Oh man, my cats are like, cats would never.
My cat might. I'm thinking about this story. My cat might.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh,
yeah.
my stepfather always says that the only thing that prevents your cats from eating you is size. And I mean, he's not right. He's not wrong at all. They have to rely on you, but if they
Right.
were the bigger ones, they would totally eat.
That's
If you're
true. That's
dead,
true.
they would eat you right away, which I understand and I'm not upset about. Like survival of the fittest, man.
Yes. I would hope. I would hope
Yeah,
that instead of starve to death, my pets would eat me.
yeah.
If we were trapped, if I died, no one knew, which is, I'm so sad to think of how possible that is because
It's
of the
not
way that I
possible.
live.
It's not possible. We have a show together, and if you
That's
didn't show
true.
up, I wouldn't just
That's a,
no.
that's an impolite twist in today's society, but I understand the reference that you're making. But no, you didn't guess the twist. You fail. Um,
Didn't we wait to guess the twist until you tell this
no,
story?
guess the twist. What if
Um,
someone comes up with it? Like,
the
right.
twist is he's wearing a skin mask, and it was really um, the old innkeeper, whatever Scooby-Doo twist
Uh,
it is. Or the
um,
twist is his mom's corpse is in the basement or whatever. I'm giving up all the twists now. The
hmm.
twist was he was dead the whole time.
No, it's actually a missing girl case.
Oh,
So
missing
it's a
girl.
missing girl case.
But she's not really missing. She faked her own death so she could live somewhere else.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. There's multiple twists. I'm
Oh,
like,
then she got killed as the new person. No.
well, okay, right. In her new life, then she was murdered and nobody
Was
knew.
murdered because she's just that kind of person that people want to murder. Wherever you go, there you are.
Being murdered. I love that we are both very punchy today. I love it.
I know. It's because it's so nice out and
Yes.
it's it's getting to be that time of year where I'm very cagey.
Yes.
I
Yes.
also left the house today and I
Amazing.
realized that I love to pet people's dogs and that
Mm.
when I see a dog, all social distancing goes out the window. Like You
Oh,
should stay back still 6 feet. But I'm like, is your dog friendly? And if they say yes, and I barely wait for them to say yes. I don't even. And then as soon as I'm like on the ground, like making out with the dog, and I know that they're probably like, what is wrong with her? But it's just like, I don't know why. It's like if I see a dog now, I get very, very excited.
yes.
And I'm like all over that dog. And then I'm like, I guess I should probably clean myself off and I probably shouldn't get that close to people. But it's like, it's your fault for bringing your dog everywhere.
Right. It's your fault for having a cute, friendly dog. God, that's my whole life. People petting my dog because, as you know, you've met my dog, right?
Oh my God. He immediately cuddled with me. He
Yes.
immediately was like, we are
Yes.
best friends. And I was like,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
Spencer is a reincarnated Walmart greeter. He needs to introduce himself to every living thing that we encounter. And I didn't know before I got a dog that you could just pet strangers' dogs.
Oh yeah.
And I realized people would be like, pre-times I've had him for 8 years. They're like, "Oh, can I pet your dog?" I'm like, all this time I could have been petting people's dogs in the
Oh, not
wild.
just petting. Like, I mean, I'm just like, oh my God, I love you so much to like some strangers.
I Oh no, yes, I know that whole encounter. I have had times when I feel like I'm not present in a conversation because we have it's my favorite. My favorite. We walk up to a group of like old head big dudes and they're all like looking dudes. And as a lady walking by dudes like that, you can get a little ugh. But I love when and this has happened multiple times. One of them, usually the scariest looking one, is like, "Yo, bro, hold on, I got to go pet this dog." My dog is 13 pounds. He is a poodle mix. He's adorable. He's tiny. And then this huge man is like exactly like you, like on the
Mhm.
floor, on the ground, petting my dog, going, "Does you got a belly? Oh, you got a belly? Oh, you need them robs? You need them robs?"
It's so true.
uh,
I see a dog and I just like devolve into
yes.
some like sort of like weirdo and like I don't even care.
I know. And
It's
I'm
the
like, should I leave you two alone? Do you need is it weird that I'm here? It's
best.
fine. I
It's the
once I once saw it's not an Alsatian, oh, Samoyed. Do you know what dogs those are?
no.
They're huge and they're all white and they're so fluffy. They're just
Oh,
incredibly fluffy and they have smiley faces.
oh my
So their
God.
face looks like a smile. And I was at the theater once and I was talking to people and someone outside had that dog and I like through the lobby window I saw a Samoyed dog and I mid sentence, mid conversation said to my friends, "Hold on, just I have to go pet this dog. I will be right back." And I literally walked away from them and out the
Yeah.
door. And it was like, "I need to pet your dog, please." Lovely dog, very
I mean,
soft.
they're lucky that you even said anything. I would have just like disappeared.
I know. They would have known. They would have been like,
Yeah.
"There she." Okay, that's a fluffy
Yeah.
dog.
So like warm weather and dogs being everywhere is like the best. It's so good. I'm like, I wish it was gonna stay this warm, but I think the thing that is making me feel good is I know we're so close to warm, beautiful weather.
Yeah, I wonder if this is. I keep telling myself this is false spring, and to not get
Yeah,
too attached. Like this is the
yes.
fake out,
This is,
and then we
but
get a foot of
May,
snow.
no,
I
but
hate the Northeast.
com- March comes in like a lion, right? And out like a lamb.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
in
they
the middle they fight.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's good. Next week we're good. We're gonna be
Okay.
good, I think. And
Okay.
then April, and then May, and May is like one of the best months there is, I think, because it's so like summer's not here yet, but you have all those summer feelings and it's warm. Oh my God,
May is when
guys!
you can start going to the beach again. Like
And
I mean, you always can, but
there's gonna be enough vaccines for all adults by May. Not that we'll be getting them in May, but like they'll be heat ready.
we can hug our friends. We can hug our friends.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
One of my I gotta minimize that. One of my most formative snow memories was a kid of blizzard on March 20th.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, I moved into my house.
Oh, Harrison got your vaccine. Oh my god.
Yay.
Amazing. I love it. I'm jealous. I'm on
I
like 9 different
know.
lists.
I keep waiting to hear, and I'm like, I know it's coming. But I'm like, you know what? Let other people who, if you're on, like, I always think like, if you're on the list and they call you, go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I know I'll get my turn. I'm like mostly in. Like you, we're both in all the time, so it's like, except for making out with dogs, that's pretty much
All right.
in. So I'm okay waiting as long as like people are getting them and things are moving along. Because I made the mistake of watching John Oliver last week tonight from like the 14th, and he was talking
Okay.
about pandemics to come, and I was like, I don't
Right.
need information.
Let's just get through the one we're in,
John
and then
Oliver.
we'll
I mean,
worry about
yeah,
the deadly
exactly.
bird flu of
Yeah.
2048.
Then I'll worry about wet markets. I mean, leave me alone.
Right.
Then I'll worry about deforestation. Like, I don't want to worry about
Right.
it right now. I have too many other things that I have to worry about.
Listen, yeah, life is bad and dire and an unending trauma. I'm going to need to mouth kiss bats just like till the end of this. And then we can talk about not
Yeah.
mouth kissing bats anymore. I
Right. Or like,
just,
yeah, stop visiting them. Like, but yeah, that's something for later. I have a quota of things that I can worry about, and I feel like I've pretty
yeah,
much hit the max for them.
yeah.
So I don't want any more things. Yeah, as soon as I watched that episode, and I'm like, why did you watch this?
All right.
I turned it off. This is like, I was like, I don't need to think about this. I'll think about this after I get vaccinated.
Although I do highly recommend, and I've talked about this before, watching fiction post plague apocalyptic movies because they get it so wrong. It's so adorable. It's so adorable. You're like, oh, you all have masks. That's so. Everyone is wearing them. Oh my God. That's so stupid. Turns out, yeah.
Also, though, ignoring what John Oliver says is the exact thing that is going to get us in another mess. But I just want to ignore him for a little while.
Right.
It's fine. We're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine.
Right. I'm going to share my milkshake with monkeys just for a minute.
I
And
mean, I'm
then I
not
will
going to
listen
do
to John
any of those.
Oliver.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
not going to
Like,
do any of those things, but okay.
yeah. Just, I
I'm
need
probably
my vices right now. I'm stressed.
I'm gonna get my vaccine and then like maybe see a movie and then
Mm. I am gonna get my vaccine and take myself out to a nice dinner and sit alone inside of a restaurant or maybe at a bar, maybe at the bar if they're allowed to have like
right.
the bar open. I'll sit at the bar, like
Mhm.
watch TV, eat some wings or some nachos or whatever.
Oh my God, restaurants. Like go to brunch. Go to freaking
Ooh,
brunch.
brunch. It sucks because Monday, Sunday, soon is my birthday. I don't know what day any day is anymore, so it's within the next week. It might be Monday. I opened the calculator instead of the calendar again. Good job.
The
It's
15th?
Monday. That's
Okay.
right. And
Monday? 15th Monday. Okay.
Monday. Yeah. So I get to have therapy on my birthday. Did you talk
Mm.
about crime on this Twitch? What crime? This is a brunch Twitch. Harrison, are you
Yeah, I'm
confused?
sorry. This is a post-pandemic wish list.
You're in the wrong Twitch. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But that is a good point from our
Yeah,
producer.
yeah.
We
Harrison was
should
like,
get
you guys are going long. I'm
this
gonna
is
need
like
you to wrap it up.
I want to
Um,
have a little like camera on Harrison that only we see here, so it's like we have a producer. Um, oh, you had therapy on your birthday too, isn't it wonderful? And also not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to have a virtual hang because it make the thought of it makes me sad.
yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I'll take myself out to an outside dinner if it's not false spring.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get into the story that you all came for.
Yay! We want to guess. We want
Okay.
crime.
Guess the twist. Okay.
Harrison gave us the wrap it up, so we need to
Yes,
get moving.
Harrison did. Quite gracefully.
He gave us are you coming in for a landing?
I
Yeah.
love like, this is the tower. Give me your ETA. We are holding the runways for you, but we're gonna let this Southwest flight get on the ramp if you're not gonna talk about the crime. Okay, no, I'm really doing it. Okay. Let's set the scene. It's August 31st. It's 1998. We are in Rockland, which is the beef capital of Australia.
Can we let's talk where were you in 1998 in August of 1998?
High school. I was getting ready to start high school. I was at band camp. That's where I was,
Wow.
marching band camp.
I had already graduated from college.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was just working. Ew. All right. This is boring.
I was listening
Nothing.
to Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah, that was my first concert. No, back to the crime. Andrea, Don't disappoint Harrison. Okay. We're in the beef capital of Australia. That doesn't matter, but it's just so wonderful to think about. Uh, and 14-year-old Natasha Ryan is missing. But this is not the first time that she has gone missing, not even the first time this month. She's doing this thing where she's kind of running away from home these days.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing badly in school. She's fighting a lot with her mom. Her parents just got divorced. She's not taking it well. She's been forbidden to see her boyfriend, Scott Black. I did so
That's a
much,
great boyfriend name. That's a great boyfriend name.
well, I did so much research on this crime before getting to the fact that he is 22 and she is 14.
I know,
Uh,
but I still just like his
but
name.
Scott, you're right.
Yeah,
Are
Scott
you like,
Black is a
oh,
great.
Scott Black? He's like, he does not look very cool. Oh no. Yeah. So she's not in a good place. Eventually, her disappearance was enough to alert her family that something was up, and they called the
Mhm.
police. They did call the police like that day, I think, when she wasn't at school. So Natasha's mom says that she dropped her off at school that morning.
Mhm.
However, the police initially decide, "Oh, hey, Giuliani, it's great. We are just at the beginning. Guess the twist and put in
Yeah.
your prediction if whether someone else will guess the twist. You will not, I promise. I'm betting absolutely no money on
You know
that.
what? I am cautiously just saying that I think I know this story, but keep going. I'm not sure if I know it or if it's just similar to another one
Okay.
that I know. I
Okay.
Case File might have done this story, but if it's the
You
one I'm
know,
thinking, it's crazy, but I don't know.
you know, I did not find an episode of Case File when I Googled.
Okay.
And I
So
did
you might
find an episode of Once Upon a Crime. That doesn't
not.
mean
Okay.
there isn't one, but I feel like I would have found Case File.
Okay.
So maybe, but maybe it is. Okay, so she's not at school. They call the cops. They're like, I think she's run away again. Police initially decide that the last person to see her alive was her friend. I'm so sorry. This is a Maori name and I'm going to butcher it, but it's probably Oeoha Tokotawa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's her friend. This boy, Tokotawa, had moved to Australia recently with his family. He was not happy with the move. He was also, like Natasha, started to do bad in school. They got into dangerous stuff as well as that. They were experimenting with drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, I should say, because some of this stuff is weird timeline wise, but what my research is, there were a couple news articles, but there are also lengthy firsthand accounts from primary sources. One of them, so you can like watch the people talking about it. One of them is this boy. So I had to Google him because the wiki just glances at this part of it. And I was like, there has to be more about that. And just like, there's so much. Okay. So her friend, they're experimenting with drugs. Now he says that yes, he was with her. He was the last person to see her the night before. It sounds like no, not that. Yeah, maybe because they went to a popular spot where you could buy drugs with the
Mm-hmm.
intent to buy drugs from someone, and they got attacked by these large men that they didn't know. And Tokotawa was drugged and assaulted by a man named Leonard Fraser, but he didn't know that at the time. But we're going to
Okay.
remember that name for later. We're going to put it in our pocket.
Leonard Fraser.
Leonard
Okay.
Fraser. I'm sure in Australia it's like Fraser or that's Scottish. What am I doing? Don't
Top of the
riff.
morning to you.
God, this is why we don't riff. Okay. So the friend thinks that Natasha ran away because she was so upset about having to watch him be attacked. And that's his theory. He's like, oh no, like this terrible thing happened. She couldn't do anything to help me. She's just upset and processing that. However, the police immediately suspect him of eventually, I don't know if it's immediate, but they eventually suspect him of murder.
Mm.
And I'm going to say that that's racism because they have not found a body.
Mm-hmm.
So, and her mom dropped her off at school the next day. So I don't, but
Wait, so he wasn't the last one to see her then. The mom was.
yeah, it's one of
Okay.
these strange. There's a firsthand account of the mom, and the mom says I dropped her off at school, and then
Okay.
later that's corroborated by something else.
Okay.
And then in his firsthand account, or maybe they skipped school and went to this place.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. There's weird timeline stuff, but those are both firsthand accounts.
Okay.
So I think it's valid to keep them, if even if I can't corroborate.
Okay.
Yeah, so eventually the police are like, well, this is murder now. This is not a missing person investigation. Maybe just because she didn't turn up for a couple of days.
Okay.
Although Todakawa brings Natasha's mother flowers every single Mother's Day for years, even after she goes missing. And I feel like she must not have suspected him, because if she did, when he did the first time, I would be like, please do not. This is so mean. Like, this is, if you're
Yeah.
guilty, like, you're troll. This is the worst troll ever.
Right.
But he's like a teenager. They're friends, and she disappears, and then he brings her mom flowers on Mother's Day. I just so according to the police, every lead is cold. Everything is a dead end. 2 years into Natasha's disappearance, they oh no, I skipped a paragraph.
Oh,
So they're like, let's get this kid. He is 14. They start watching his family 24 hours a day. There are plainclothes following him all over the place. It's a small town ish, so everybody knows what's going on. Everyone knows he's suspected now of killing his friend.
hmm.
So that's fun for a kid who's already having problems in school.
Right. And is Scott Black in this mix at all yet, or not yet?
He is
Like,
around. He is the boyfriend.
right, but he has nothing. He wasn't there with them with the drugs, or like didn't have any part in this initial. Like they didn't interview him when she went missing or anything like that.
Like, they must have. They must have.
But no.
Um, there's no record that I can find. This is an interesting
Okay.
case because, for as recent as it is, there's not a lot
Okay.
of detail. And I think because of what the twist eventually
Okay.
is why a lot of the information about how the case proceeded is kind of
Okay.
lost to
Because it
history.
doesn't matter. Like, in other words, what
Right.
seems to matter doesn't actually matter.
But
Okay.
it might.
Okay.
You don't know. Guess the twist.
I'm,
Um,
I'm working on some theories.
yeah. Guess the twist. So 2 years after Natasha's disappearance, one day, officers come in to Tokatawa's English class and arrest him for murdering her.
Okay.
I have no idea what kind of evidence they found. They thought that whatever they had was enough. Again, there is no body.
Hmm.
So at 14, he is charged with the murder of his friend, who he still thinks ran away after witnessing a horrific attack on him and being powerless to stop it. Although I don't know if 2 years in, he's still thinking that. That would be pretty terrible. Oh no. Maybe. I mean, we'll see. So we'll pause there because we have to fill in a little bit more information from the past. Like, there's 2 points of the story where we're going to pause and then rewind, like in Hamilton, and then
Okay.
tell it from something else that's going on, because there are 3 different narratives happening and they all converge in the twist.
Okay.
So, 8 months after Natasha went missing, again, this is like a year and a couple months before this kid gets arrested, another young
I'm sorry. I'm
girl.
so sorry
Wait,
to interrupt. I'm
no,
so sorry. I just want to clarify. So she goes missing, and then 4 years later, how many years later do they,
2 years.
2 years
2 years.
later, they arrest, he's 14.
He's 14. So at the
Okay.
time, he's 16, or he might have
Yes.
been 14 when he was arrested, and he was friends with her when he was 12, and
Right.
she was
They were
14.
just, yeah, they were just young.
They were
Okay,
very
cool.
young.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure I realized time had passed, but I want to get the timeline straight. Okay,
It's,
keep
yeah, it's the timeline is very, very important.
okay.
And it can be hard to keep straight because it feels like things should be happening more quickly than they are.
Okay.
So we're rewinding and back to Natasha's disappearance, August 31st, 1998. And 8 months after that, another young girl goes missing in the same town. Her name is Kira Steinhardt. She was only 9 years old. She disappeared while walking home from school.
Okay.
There is a huge manhunt to scour the area to find her. Meanwhile, friends come forward to say, we think that a good place to look would be looking at Leonard Fraser, because he's been acting super weird lately and he's kind of like a creepazoid.
Leonard Fraser is the drug guy?
Leonard Fraser, right? Coincidentally. Oh, so here's Natasha, and I guess her first communion outfit. I don't know. I'm assuming that because there's a veil. That's her when she was. I think I don't know if that's when she was
I think that's
14.
just a big bow.
Okay.
She's got black on. Yeah.
Okay. Australia in the 90s. I don't know. Um, yeah. So they're like, look at this guy, Leonard Fraser. Here he is. He's fucking.
Mm-mm.
He looks like trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Like try to be less obvious, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So his friends, good for his friends, are like, we think our friend. So they do investigate Fraser. They find Kira's blood in the trunk of his car,
No.
along with the blood of another person.
Okay.
And 2 weeks after that, after the friends come forward, and that 2 weeks after they investigate, they arrest Leonard Fraser, and he leads them to Kira's body. She was in some brushland on the outskirts of town. It's very terrible. He said he assaulted her and then slashed her throat in the backseat of his car. And again, she was 9. He is the fucking worst.
The monster, yeah.
Right. So at this point, we have this guy. He's killed this girl. He admits it and takes him to the body. There are also, several more women missing. There are at least 4 more, including Natasha, who have gone missing.
Women or little girls?
Natasha's a teenager, and then the
Right.
women are, I think, in their 30s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not like it's a pattern of just like women, but the age is all over the place.
Okay.
So the authorities are like, is this guy a serial killer? Like, all of these women are going missing. This guy is here in this town. It's not a big town. Is he doing them all?
Right.
But right now they only have him on Kira's murder.
Okay.
So he does get convicted on that. He does. And he's very sad in prison. Oh no. Because as you know, prisoners are famously the least amount of nice to child rapists.
Right.
So Leonard Fraser is rightfully getting the shit beat out of him. I'm like,
Right.
not into jail, but absolutely into child rapists getting the shit beat out of them.
Prison justice.
Yes. So let me just check out the chat. He goes to, he has kind eyes. Michael says he has kind eyes. I mean, 2 each.
I mean, agree to disagree, but
Oh, Harrison says, I know that face of that girl. Oh, wait, do you know the twist? Anyway. Mike knows the twist already.
yeah, it's his story.
Yeah. Okay. What? Oh, that's the cat. So, okay, Leonard Fraser, boo-hoo, in jail is so mean to me. So he goes to cut a deal with prosecutors so that he can get removed from the Gen Pop, and the way that you do that is to confess to more murders.
Right.
So he's like, all right, I'll confess to more murders. The authorities were like, we were right, holy shit, he is a serial killer. So he confesses to killing Sylvia Benedetti, Beverly Lego, Julie Turner, and Natasha Ryan.
Okay.
So he gets what he wants. Authorities get what they want. Those women's families get closure. They get an answer. The best friend is cleared. And I'm sure everyone just went back to seeing him as a troubled teen who clearly needed some extra love and help. Right? Because that's life is fair. And Natasha's family gets some closure. But since there is a twist, I'm guessing he didn't really kill her. Maybe.
I'm gonna say yeah, that's probably true.
Thank you. You're cute too. So Natasha's family's like, okay, we have some closure. It's been years. They still have not found her body. The entire case is dead except for this. And her family holds a funeral for her on what would have been her 17th birthday. And it's 2 years after her original disappearance. And now we have a new trial because Fraser is on trial for the murder and manslaughters of these additional women. But during the trial, and the way this is reported in multiple outlets makes me think that this literally looked like a Law and Order episode. It seems like the trial's like going on, and all of a sudden the police or prosecutors or whatever, they bust into the courtroom and they're like, hold on, can we have a timeout on this trial because we there's some new info. We just like pause. So the thing is that Natasha Ryan is alive, and we just found her. She was hiding in a cupboard in her boyfriend's house.
Scott Black.
Scott Black.
Okay.
Gasps all around, cut to commercial, chung chung sound.
Okay.
Like, I cannot imagine it more dramatic than that.
Yeah, I figured she was still alive because there had to be that
Well,
twist, or that had to be part of it, right?
right.
Like, but there's got to be more.
You could be tricked into believing that the serial killer is the twist. Like they thought
Right.
it was her friend, but whoa, it was a serial killer. But it wasn't. There's a double twist. It's all coming back to me now. You did know it. Okay, so
I feel like I know, like her, like Harrison said, her face is so
yeah.
familiar. So go ahead, continue.
So that's the second point, and now we rewind again because now we're going to talk about what was actually going on with Natasha. So Natasha Ryan did actually run away on August 31st. Like
Okay.
she had done all of the other times before. She went over to her boyfriend's house, and he was a milk delivery man, and again, 22, and she just stayed there. And she stayed there for 5 entire years.
And no one knew.
No one knew. No one knew. It was one of those things where she, like, the longer she stayed, the more awkward it would be to go back. So she just, like, didn't. And then it was 5 years. Like, it's a very teenage thing to do out of conflict avoidance. She's 14 years old. But, like, Christ, she's interviewed and, well, geez, yeah. She let her, well, so there's a little bit more to it. She's interviewed and she says, I thought about calling my mom to say like, I'm fine. I'm just whatever. But she thought she would get in trouble. So a lot of that was avoidance too.
Imagine letting your mom think that you're dead
Well,
for 5 years.
so she didn't necessarily know that they thought she was dead.
Okay.
She did not know that they assumed that she was dead. She probably
Still,
thought that,
imagine-
yeah,
But you're even missing. It would be the worst thing that ever happened to your parent. Like
right,
it's
right.
unbelievable.
Right. Although a lot of people are like, if you're running away that much and you do this and you don't even call your mom, like maybe she was getting away from something in that house. There is no evidence either way, but
Who knows?
maybe she's getting it from all sides. And again, she is so scared of being, so she gets scared of being found. And again, as things go on, she gets scared of someone recognizing her, someone seeing her. Again, at this point, they're in the same town. And she thinks that if she gets caught, if they find out, she'll go to jail for running away and not telling anyone, especially as time goes on, right? It's months, it's years. She's like, if they ever find me, I'm going to jail. So she stays in the house with the curtains drawn all of the time. If guests come to the house to visit her boyfriend, she gets in the cupboard in his bedroom. And I have a picture of that. This is her showing the 60 Minutes interview the cupboard. It's a wardrobe. It's like an IKEA wardrobe. So she said the longest she ever had to spend in the bedroom hiding from people or the cupboard was an hour. Believe what you want.
And the boyfriend is okay with
The
this?
boyfriend is going to work, doing his job, I guess being interviewed by the police asking where this missing girl is.
Because by this point, he's 20 to 25. I mean, that's a big enough change. Like he's not like thinking like, okay, this has gone too far.
He was 22 when it started.
Oh, so yeah, he's 27.
He's
Not like
27.
this is too far. I
Right.
need to be an adult now.
And he's not like, go home. Uh-huh. Yeah.
This is enough. You can't do this.
Right. She,
Okay.
and she never leaves the house. She never interacts with anyone but him. She makes her own period supplies because it would look suspicious for him to go and buy them. She makes her own clothes for the same reason. They do have a cat. Scott eventually gets another milkman job in another town. They do move to a place that's 45 minutes away,
Well, geez.
but she keeps up the thing. She's still, even if Gina looks so disappointed in her. Gina's giving her mom face,
I am.
which she
Just like,
deserves.
this is the
She
dumbest.
deserves. I know. Like, on the one hand, this is a terrible thing to do to your family, but on the other hand, like, girl, what? Like, what? This is the
Also,
stupidest
you're
thing.
wasting years of your life, some of the best times of your life. You're,
Yeah. Yeah. And
oh,
people who interviewed her, like official interviewers, have said she seems like she's just frozen. She's half an adult and half a child because she did not get any socialization for all of those formative teenage years from 14 to
yeah.
18 and a half. Yeah.
Oh my
So she's like,
God.
yeah. Um, so they're
And that
45 minutes away
boyfriend's
now.
never going to be able to get rid of her because she'll
She's
go
his now.
loony, probably.
Right. Um, she she must be watching the news. She had to know what was going on. That
Yeah.
so that is an interesting question, and maybe she was, but maybe she wasn't because well, we'll get to some of that. I don't know how much 14-year-olds watch the news. She may have wanted at first
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
like if it was in the news, and that's why she was like, "Oh God, I have to hide." Um, but she could have missed it because there's
Oh,
a
and
little more about
also
that.
they didn't have a 24-hour news cycle then.
Right.
So she might be looking in papers.
Yeah. Yeah. She could be.
That would be,
Um,
I think if I was 14, that's probably what I would
read the
think of.
paper. She's like, "Darling, did you bring me the business section? You know it's my
Want to
only
check my
socialization."
stocks? Also,
Listen, I haven't seen the sun, but at least I know what my stocks are doing. Um, so in this new house, they're close to the beach, so she can actually, under cover of darkness, she can actually go and sit on the beach and look at the stars. So that's nice. And she in the interview, she like gives tours. You saw the picture, and here she is.
she
She
probably
giving
has the nicest skin because it has like no sun
right,
damage
right.
whatsoever.
Her
Probably
skin
gorgeous.
is gonna be 14 forever.
Alabaster.
This is her giving a tour of the house. It's 60 minutes. That was the picture of the cupboard. That one, yeah.
God.
Uh, where was I? I was on my. So okay. But shortly 6 months before she's found, her boyfriend actually got a different milkman job. He got transferred back, and they were in her hometown, blocks from her childhood home. What turns this all around is that she does watch the news at
Yeah.
least once. And she sees on the news that Leonard Fraser is going to be tried for her murder. So she sees that big headline. And I think that this is the first point where she realizes that they would have thought she died. So she's like, oh shit, they thought I died. It did not come into my brain that they would think that I died.
Right.
I thought they just figure I ran away forever. And this man who didn't do this thing could go down for my murder. So like, thank God for her instinct to not let justice fail this terrible, terrible monster of a human.
Yeah.
She would have been in the cupboard forever.
But also, you know what? She could have been watching the news before, but I bet it wasn't on the news because the only reason it was this time was because of the sensation of
Right.
the serial
It's been
killing.
years. Right. It's been years. This killer who's been convicted of this one crime, now he's suddenly confessing to all these others who are unsolved. And it's like amazing breaking news. So
Loony.
So she calls because she feels so bad for Leonard fucking
She
Fraser.
feels bad for this guy. Just
Yeah,
like let him go down for it.
right.
Like,
Especially if I guess she didn't recognize him as being the person who their friend says attacked him.
okay.
So, or she'd know he was like a garbage monster. But anyway, um, so she drops a dime. There's a national children's helpline, and she makes an anonymous call to the children's line, and she goes, "Hi, the thing is that I saw that you're trying a man for Natasha Ryan's murder, but he didn't do that because it's me and I am totally alive, so that is probably a mistake that you want to fix." And then police go to the house, find her in the closet, rush over to court, bust in, chung chung,
Like
and
the end
here
of
we
The
are.
Graduate.
Yes. Elaine, stop! Stop the trial! And then everyone gets on a bus.
And then they regret everything.
Regret everything instantly. So here we are. We've got all the timelines together. Here we are in the courtroom. This happens. Natasha's alive. That's where she's been. That's what she's been doing. Astoundingly, at this point, Fraser's defense does not ask for a mistrial. What they do, though, so that he gets one less count of murder, is call Natasha as a witness.
Bless you.
Thank you. And she goes to court and testifies in her own murder trial to say under oath, no, this man did not kill me. Here I am, not dead. He is convicted of the other murders, though.
That's weird.
So he's convicted. Right. Like, I don't know. The case was only his confession. So unless he gave some more evidence, like maybe he did lead them to bodies, and that's just not covered in this story because it's not part of her, then maybe it wasn't as flimsy as it's just a confession. It'd be kind of funny if he was still convicted. I know.
I mean, like, he has nothing to lose by it because he's probably in jail for life anyway, right?
Yeah, he's just getting a better shake, or
yeah, right.
Or actually, or maybe, I don't know how that would work because, I don't know how many years one child murder gets you in Australia. I would imagine life.
Yeah. But then, like, yeah, he's just trying to move, but I'm surprised that they're not like, well, you lied.
Right.
Just, I don't know.
Right.
Everybody's making bad decisions in this story.
Right. All the defense has to do is be like, well, one of them is alive. Maybe the rest of them are alive. This dude's an asshole. Like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah.
He just wants to not get his ass beat in jail. He'll tell you he murdered me.
Right.
Yeah. But astoundingly, he is convicted. He was convicted of 2 or 3 counts of murder and 1 of manslaughter. And he dies in jail in 2007. So that's the end of him. So now Natasha's back. She's back on the scene. She's back with her family in her house. And literally the entire world is like, girl, what the entire fuck did you do?
Right. Her boyfriend's like, this is so much nicer.
Her boyfriend's like, I get the whole bed. I can open the curtains.
It smells so bad in here.
That's so funny that Harrison said, Natasha, you're grounded for life, because in the 60 Minutes episode, her mom actually says, like, my first instinct was to ground her for life. But she's technically been grounded for 5 years. So,
yeah. And she's technically an adult, but I mean, honestly, like that kid's just nothing but trouble.
Right. And her mom even said when someone called her and said they found Natasha, and she was like, oh God, her body. And then they're like, no. She's like, what do you mean she's alive? They found her body. She's dead. We buried her 3 years ago. It's been 5 entire years.
Yeah. I imagine, like, I don't know. I just can't get over, like, not only robbing yourself of these, like, precious years, but robbing your family of, like, you only get such a small time with your family. And, like, I know not every family situation is great, but I'm talking, if it was let's say it's an ideal situation or not an abusive situation, you're robbing your family of, like, also part of their lives too. Like, it's it's such a terrible thing. It's such a terrible thing to have done.
Yeah. And she had a younger brother who barely knew her, and an older sister who got married in the intervening years and wanted to have had her as a bridesmaid and thought she was dead. And thought she was murdered by a serial killer. So everyone's like, what's the punishment? Of course. So she's fined. She has to pay a fine. It's like between $1,000 and $3,000 for causing a false police report. The boyfriend, though, Scott Black, he's charged with child stealing and perjury because he also testified during Leonard Fraser's trial. He went on the stand before the cupboard incident.
Not wrong. They're not wrong.
I know. He had gone on the stand during Leonard Fraser's trial and said, yes, no, I don't know where my girlfriend is. I don't know how that all works.
This is like a bunch of dummies in this story.
Like, or masterminds. And he fools an entire jury. He's like, no, I have no idea where she went.
Oh
And,
my God, it does sound like the B plot of
Kramer.
a Kramer story.
And Jerry's like, Kramer, she was not in the cupboard. She was not.
He
But she was.
was in the cupboard the
That's
whole
the
time.
third act. The whole time. Um, so she sells her story for money to Women's Day and 60 Minutes. She makes like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Everyone hates her even more. They actually, in her sentencing for her punishment, they actually asked the judge to make her pay back the cost of investigating her murder,
Yeah.
which had run to like $500,000.
Yeah.
But we don't know that she knew that it was going on. And it's possible that she really didn't think they were investigating her murder. And it didn't start until 2 years after she disappeared. So
You know, it would
ultimately,
be great if her childhood friend who had to spend time in jail for her murder actually murders her in the end. That would be the best ending.
guess the twist. No. I mean, maybe. We're all still alive. uh, but so the judge is like, she, first of all, she's never going to pay that. She's a child who has been inside for 5 years. She doesn't know how to work. And also, again, like, she may not have known. I love it when Gina goes dark. So you can actually watch her interview with 60 Minutes Australia in its entirety on YouTube, and that is one of my sources, is her firsthand account of what she did, why she did it. Here's her sad face. There's her sad face. Look at that skin, though.
I know. She's pretty.
I know.
What is she doing? What are you doing,
What are you
Natasha?
doing with your dumb old boyfriend? God, ew.
Natasha, come on. Think of the life you could have had.
You are better than him. Yeah, so that's, you can, it's really interesting because they also talk to her mom. It's very strange.
Is her mom still talking to her? I mean, that would just
Yeah.
end the whole. Oh my God.
Yeah, her mom said, when I found out what she did, I was furious. But as soon as I saw her, it was like, that's my daughter. And I love her so much. And I have her back now. And I thought she was dead. So although she said she's forgiven, but it's not forgotten. So I'm sure every time she doesn't want to pick up her socks, her mom is like, you were dead for 5 years.
You hid in a cupboard and you could have been going to lunch with me. So.
Yeah. Oh, your room is not big enough? How big was the cupboard, Natasha? Like,
Natasha, can you pick me up something from the market? Oh, really?
make sure to come back now and not 5 years from now, Natasha.
Yeah, I'm sure she's getting burned, roasted constantly.
Yeah. So the 60 Minutes interview, there's a lot of B-roll of her with her mom, and they're looking at the family photos. Her sister's like, oh, this was my wedding that you missed because we thought you were dead. And it's all very weird, and everyone is very loving.
Mm-hmm.
She insists that she was not a captive, insists that Scott was protecting her, helping her because she didn't want to be found. She really did not want to be out in the world. And I would have stayed that way forever. I don't think she was thinking ahead at all. But
also, how do we know that that's true? Because he could have been grooming her. I mean, she was a child.
Yeah.
Children don't know. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Natasha.
Right. So everyone, at first I was like, when I read the wiki is very, just very general. And I'm like, oh my God, she hid out with her boyfriend for 5 years. Did she attend high school after she retired? I have no idea. I don't know. And it's Australia too, so I don't know how like that works. And then Scott gets out of jail. And what happens is they get married.
No.
They have a son and they get married. And she sells the story again so she can make money. And she sells the exclusive to Women's Day. And there's a whole new round of news. But she's like, I want this to be a fresh start. And I'm going to change my name to Nat Black. And we're going to move far away. And I don't want to have to be known as Australia's famous cupboard girl anymore.
Then why are you telling everybody what you're changing your name to?
I know.
I'm yelling at this.
I know. She's 14.
I understand. You know what? It's really like there's to me the boyfriend is truly culpable because he was
Mm-hmm.
an adult. I mean, an adult, but I mean 22. I mean, but still, you're an adult.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
better at 22.
Yes. Harrison loves your frustration.
I'm just like it's just so annoying because I'm like I can see how she was too young to really understand what she was doing. But
Yeah.
like by 20 he's, as time is going by, he's not like this is bad like everything about it is a poor decision
Right.
making. And then they get married. I can't even. I can't.
And everyone they're at the wedding. They're like, "Oh, it's so happy. We're turning a
No.
new page. It's a new leaf."
No, it's not.
Don't look for me. I'm changing my name. Slides address and Amazon wishlist URL. Exactly. Exactly.
You'll
She's
never
like,
find me.
right,
It's not black.
right. She's like, don't call me cupboard girl. Here is my real name if you want to reach me for press. Oh, yeah.
And the name and her new name is like such an easy name to remember. It's
Right.
not
Because it's her
like
married name.
yeah.
And
And black, like
yeah. So that's this Australian cupboard girl.
oh, there's no more twists.
No, that's it.
Oh, and I was waiting for something at the
I'm
end, and
sorry.
then she can't live like a normal woman, so he has to build her a cupboard.
Cupboard. Oh, she has to live in the
And
cupboard.
that's where they got the fairy tale old Mother Hubbard.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. You all voted that no one would guess the twist, and I'm gonna say that no one guessed the twist.
Yeah.
Good for you all. Good for you
Yeah,
all.
it's infuriating. That story is infuriating because it's just poor decision making.
And
And
that
it's upsetting.
friend.
It's losing your life. The only person who didn't really lose his life is the boyfriend.
Right.
He
Like,
lost her life.
he did a couple of years in jail.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely reasonable. But
Yeah.
the family lost years of their life, and she lost years of her life.
All for like a bit that she took too far. It's
Yeah, all for like, well, I can't tell the truth now.
right. And just to not see the sun or go outside and feel it on your face.
All
Like
for Scott Black. I mean, how? I mean, like, who is this guy?
he's
Is he
not
like,
hot.
yeah,
I ran out of time pulling photos, but he's not hot.
he's not even like a royal. He's just
I know. He's no Harry. Shit, I'd hide in a cupboard for Harry every day, all day. No, actually, that was part of the interview that they locked Megan in the house basically and wouldn't let her go anywhere.
oh, so she's
very
she's the
sad.
new cupboard girl. Yeah,
She's the cupboard girl.
yeah. This is like
She'd make a hell of an improv performer. Her commitment to a bit. Although
yeah,
I feel like once she found the bit, she wouldn't understand the rule of three. Let it rest. Maybe a fourth if it's amazing in the third
yeah.
act.
We would keep bringing
Yeah.
out the cupboard, and the team
Yes.
would be like swipe.
Easy breezy, beautiful cupboard girl.
It's sad. What is a sad, stupid
It's so
story?
stupid. It's so stupid.
It's very dumb people.
It's that got swept away
Mhm.
in international murder. Like,
Not to mention, she ruined her friend's life.
yes. Yes. I don't think she has spoken to him.
Well,
Since.
I don't think he should speak to her.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. When he shows up with the Mother's Day flowers, he's like, nah, ew.
Right? That kid, talk about committing to a bit. That kid committed to like the mom.
Right.
Now somebody should be bringing him flowers.
Because he felt so bad that she was disappeared and he liked the mom. It's just, it's,
I mean, it's not the mom's
so
fault.
much.
I mean, I don't know what the family situation is, but it doesn't seem like this girl's got a lot going on.
I don't know how he let her stay there for so long.
Yeah.
Minimal foe when he becomes a teenager.
Yeah, no, it's just
Yeah, and he didn't get tired of her and kick her out.
Yeah.
And
exactly. And because she's a kid. He must be, I want to say this in a way that's sensitive, but I feel that there must be some sort of delay in him because she's a child, and it would be more like a you would and she didn't leave the house,
Right.
and she doesn't have like a basic understanding of the world.
She has
So
no
either
hobbies. She has no social life.
yeah, so
She has nothing outside of you.
either he's kind of like pedophile adjacent, or has some sort of delay that can't pick up on that kind of thing because she's not, and then he marries
Yep.
her.
Yep. 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 I don't know. I wonder if part of it is just that cliche that men only want to bang maid and really don't care if you have no interior life.
I,
Most men, certain men,
I
many
don't I
men.
don't know. I think there's something up with him. I think that there must be some sort of, because that's like every day to day. Like that's never leaving.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time to spend with someone and they never leave the house. You
That's
are there. You're
5 years of quar.
that is her complete social life, everything. Her depend she relies on you for every single thing.
Yeah.
So to be okay with that, who would be okay with that? I mean, there has to be something going on,
Yeah.
because that's a lot for a person to it's a big responsibility for him to take on. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And there are a lot of weird moments in her interview too. She calls the house my house. She
Mm-hmm.
calls it my house. Like when she's talking to her mom was like, she's asking her what kind of, I guess, house skills she picked up. She's like, can you clean? Do you cook? And she's like, oh, yes, my house is spotless. I'm like, you had nothing else to do all day.
Right.
But yeah. And
Yeah.
she said it was a home. It felt like a home and not a prison.
No.
And
Nope.
you
And
made
I
it a
wonder,
prison.
don't you wonder if it was his idea?
Most marriages don't last that long. Seriously.
I mean, I
Especially if
wonder.
you're very young.
Yeah, I mean, because he's almost like he would have to be almost like teaching her how to be like an adult.
And what does
Like,
he know? What
and
is a
like, what kind of
22-year-old?
conversation could they have? Like,
Exactly. Especially as he lives in the world. He starts as
mhm.
22 and finishes at 27. He is out and living in the world and getting socialization, and
He's
she's
a
not.
man.
And
He's a
she
man.
stays at 14.
A man and a girl should have nothing in common. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Right. Yeah.
I just feel that way.
I mean, even from the beginning, it was
Yeah.
gross.
Yes.
14 and 22 is gross.
Yeah. A man and a girl shouldn't be roommates. Like they should have
Right.
nothing there's not that's not a relationship to me.
Right. You should
And I'm
see a
just curious
child.
whose idea this was, because it doesn't seem, it's so impractical.
Right. Right.
It's my mind is blown.
Right. If he wasn't a complete and utter garbage bag, he would have
Yeah.
been encouraging her to go back, making it easy for her to go back,
Yes.
calling her mom and being like, listen, she's with me. Just don't worry about it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like maybe it's 2 weeks, right? Like maybe she comes over and it's 2 weeks and he's like, well, this has been fun, but
right.
you need to go home.
Yes.
A month is the point at which he's like, okay, I need my house that I live in and pay for, and I need to be a grown up. Yeah.
And my friends are coming
And
over. Get in the cupboard.
yeah, it's
It is
illegal.
illegal too. Yeah.
Disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And even if it was her idea, he should have just been like, that this is a bad idea.
Right.
So, and then oh my
There's
God.
so much.
And
Oh,
then they get married. That's
they
disgusting.
get married. Yeah.
I am disgusted. Ah, this is like Woody and Suni. It is.
It could be. Yeah.
It could be. Like the same thing. He was grooming her. She was what, 16?
Yeah.
I'm yelling. I'm yelling. I'm so mad.
Should I turn down the audio? Do you
What
want to
happened? And then Suni he cultivated a relationship that worked only for him, and so she's trapped. It's kind of the same thing. Only this girl had no socialization whatsoever after age 14, really.
Yeah.
So she has no idea what could be better.
I feel like I did something bad based on you just.
You all know
Welcome to the
what you did.
scolding.
You let this
I do.
happen.
I do. How did he even date her at 14? They're both. Yeah, so her mom did not like the boyfriend and she had been
Yeah.
forbidden to see him. So that was part
Okay.
of it.
Okay.
So,
So the parents, it doesn't seem as though the parent, like, that's a good parenting decision.
yeah.
So, and we can, okay, that's the point at which, yeah, you might see a 14-year-old run away for that. That's not unheard
Yeah.
of. But the 22-year-old either knows better or
Right.
is a pedophile or is developmentally delayed.
I
Those are my
cannot believe
choices.
that a girl goes missing. Her old ass boyfriend, who has been forbidden to see her, gets questioned, hopefully, and they hopefully search his house, but she's hiding in his closet. The Becky and Mark of Australia Roseanne reference.
Hmm.
I don't remember Mark, but maybe Gina will.
Mark was the guy, isn't he the guy who grew up to be the oh wait, no. Which one is Becky? The older sister. Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't
I didn't
remember that.
watch that as much.
Yeah,
Poor
but
Bodie sneezing.
oh,
Poor Bodie.
oh, sorry we didn't get it. It's still good.
It's I
It's still
remember,
great.
but very, very bad. Like I watched the original Roseanne like so.
Our producer quit. Oh no.
Oh no, that was the straw, the final
Darn it.
straw. Okay,
Well, now
fair
we'll
enough.
never be on time for
Now
anything.
I know where the line is. It's Roseanne.
We'll just pretend to
Over.
get it. It's fine. Um, yeah, I can't believe she was. If they did any searching for her in his house, or even
How
for
did they
like
not search his house?
evidence of her murder or something, and she was just there in the closet.
How did they not? How did they live in the same? I'm just
I know.
dumbfounded.
5 years. 5 years. And only because an innocent man, innocent, was about to go to jail or was about to be convicted.
Cat butt.
Cat butt. Oh, there's some just absolute cat butt today. What are you doing? Let's not. So
That's
that's my story.
yeah. What is that? Thank Michael for that
Yevon.
story because
Yeah.
that is actually the one. It is not the one I heard. I heard one. So there's a story. It's an Australian story, and it's a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and they go out. I don't know if it's like on a hike or they go out to do something, and um she get so there's a kid like some like people pull them over and she gets tied up and he gets tied up and they get robbed or whatever, and then the people are like writing ransom notes to the family and all this stuff. And anyway, I'm getting some of the it confused, but in the end it turns out that the boyfriend was was mocking up the whole thing. Like the girlfriend didn't even know, like the day she got attacked, she saw him leave the car and then someone attacked her. So she couldn't even see, but it was the boyfriend doing the whole thing
What?
because he was trying to have sex with her and she wouldn't. So he set it up so that she would do it like because like almost like we're the last two people in the world situation or whatever. So like he set this whole dramatic kidnapping and we're trapped in the woods, like this huge storyline, all so that he could hook up with his girlfriend. And it was like the most ridiculous, but it was, so I thought it was going to be that
Oh
because that
no.
twist was also hilarious. I was like, that is the saddest story for that guy. Like so
Right.
embarrassing.
Like, listen, I'm into scenarios and role play too, but everyone has to be in on it.
I think they took like a vow of like virginity or something. They were young. They were young
Oh,
teenagers. And then this was like the only way he could like cajole her into it was like
yeah.
getting her in like a desperate situation. And it's just like so funny. It's the whole circumstance was like just out of control. Like it's just like only a teenage boy would come
Wait,
up with something so stupid.
do you think she was like, only if we were the last two people on Earth? And he was
It's
like,
pretty much
okay, thank you.
yeah,
Noted.
it was pretty much like that. Like she felt like I don't even. It was so long ago, but I just remember laughing at the lengths of the ruse the boyfriend went to, and I was like, I mean, good for him, but you know, the whole family and the girlfriend were like disgusted.
Right.
Like really?
And she didn't even bone him in the end, after all. Darn womp womp.
So Yeah, so I thought it was going to be like that kind of story, but no, this one is delightful in that it's absolutely infuriating. Now I want to know all the stories of that serial killer, if he's really a serial killer. What
Or
was
if he
his
just
name? Leonard.
Leonard Fraser,
Leonard Fraser.
or if he just lied about those other three women.
And I want to know about that poor friend. What was his life like after?
Not good. He was so traumatized he couldn't talk about it for a decade.
Are you kidding?
No.
Jeez, how long did he stay in jail?
I can't imagine it was that long because the timing of him being arrested and Leonard Fraser being arrested or going to it, like, very coincidentally they happened. I think he wasn't, I don't think he was tried.
Okay.
So maybe he was let go on his own reconnaissance or whatever, and didn't wasn't like in jail until, although if it's a murder.
He might have been released on bail, and
Yeah,
waiting
yeah,
trial. But
yeah.
even one day in jail would be good for me. I mean, not
Right,
good, enough. I mean,
right.
enough. Like,
Very scared straight. Yes.
I don't even want to spend an hour. Like, I don't even want to say the word jail for fear that I'll end up there.
If you say it
Uh,
3 times, we have to
yeah,
go to
and you
jail.
rub your ruby red shoes together. I just don't even want to think about it. But yeah, terrible. At least no one, like, I mean, the little girl dies, so that's absolutely terrible.
And three other women.
Yeah, that part of the story is absolutely terrible, but beyond that, it's just very, it's like it's hijinks is
I
what it.
know. What are you doing? My cat is pulling. He wants to play with the cord, but he's actually just pulling the laptop. So that's fun. What? Say hi. Um. Yeah. So that's my story. Yeah. So Mike posted that in our improv team Slack, and I was like, oh my god, it has
Enjoyable.
everything.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah. Ugh. But no, stop it, cat. Stop. Ugh.
So what are you gonna do tonight to
For a week.
unwind?
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know. I might watch The Mummy again on the Paramount channel. Yeah. I yeah. I don't know. I need something nice and comforting, but I don't know if I have enough time to watch Coming to America 2 because I have to get up early and go to the dentist tomorrow.
Mm.
But maybe
You're
I
the
do.
second person who told me they have a dentist appointment tomorrow. Tomorrow
Oh,
must be National Dentist Day.
it is. Yeah.
um, yeah, no, oh, it's such a comforting movie. Yeah, but yeah, I see why you wouldn't want to get involved with anything.
Oh wait,
Uh,
Harrison, did you not like Coming to America 2? Is that what you're saying is terrible and I can wait to watch it? I can't
he might have.
wait to break the tie. I hated it. Oh no.
Yeah, I was telling her before
I
you
only laughed once.
arrived that I was like, I found it. I definitely didn't go into it expecting like the first one because it's a completely different animal. And I was telling her that I liked it because it was just like a silly like 80s style movie and that it wasn't cynical. It was
Mm,
just like hopeful. And I don't know why, but I just needed that,
yeah.
like that kind of empty entertainment. And I was telling Andrea also, was I saying it on the show or beforehand that like it just, I could tell that they were having fun together. And
Yeah.
that's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like how, like they're like Wesley Snipes is in it. And every scene Wesley Snipes has with Eddie Murphy, I can tell that they're trying not to laugh
Oh.
like at how stupid it is. Like I can just see in their eyes. And then Morgan Freeman has a cameo and his is really funny. Like it's just like it's I don't know. I just like got delight from it, but it might
Mm.
be just because like that's what I was expecting.
You're trying it with Harrison. You're
Yes.
trying it.
Yeah, Harrison, I'm drawing all the lines in the sand tonight. No, it's funny because my friend Shanada was on talking about it on Facebook and she didn't like it either. So
The
I
only thing
might
that
be
made me
alone.
laugh was when the preacher said, "Where the hell is Zamunda?" Right.
uh,
I'll just put
oh,
my
you didn't laugh in the
flag away.
barber shop? That was like that was really some. I like the. Anyway, we won't have to. I don't want to spoil anything.
I won't wave my flag in front of you,
Yeah.
Harrison. My swag flag. I'll put it away.
Also, I'm like, why is it that like when they show like I don't, it was the kind of thing where I was like, I would move to Zamunda. It's
Yeah.
like so lovely there. I
Yeah.
was like, it just seems like idyllic. I was like, I mean,
Yes.
clearly I don't know, I don't think I would fit in, but it was beautiful there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
And wealthy. The people
Wealthy, and
all look
everyone
like
was like
nice.
so
Yeah.
positive and kind. I was like, I want that to be a real place of like positive, kind, happy people. I mean, it was bad for women in the beginning, but it
Oh,
gets
was it?
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked in the original, I liked the original, and as I said before, I was not exposed to it as a child, so I only just watched it last week. And I was surprised because I think I'm a little too used to like the American Pie movies and Adam Sandler movies and just
Mhm.
like kind of mean bro movies. And I
Yes.
thought it would be more like that. And it was so much like a fairy tale
Yeah.
that I was like, this is so lovely. When they're on the subway, I was like, God damn.
Yeah. There's something so sweet about it. And they did in not for Harrison, but for me, capture that like sweet, like that innocence.
Yeah, it has heart. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know that that's like you were saying, that cynicism. Like I'm not in the mood for that. And like recently,
Yeah.
like if it was like a bro movie,
Ooh, you know what I might watch? I might watch Raya and the Last Dragon on Disney Plus.
ooh, yeah. I think you have to pay for it though.
I have Disney Plus. Oh, like extra, like Wonder Woman. Wow.
The new SpongeBob movie is out though, but
Oh,
I think
okay.
you have to pay for that as well. But I mean, that looks like cute and hopeful as
Yeah.
well.
I
Um,
did finish WandaVision, but Gina didn't.
no, I did not.
So,
No spoilers.
so
Um,
I'm just gonna give you very significant looks.
it's funny because I didn't watch it, but everyone has very strong opinions online where
Yeah.
people are just like, I did not like the end. And I'm like, well, I can't read what the comments are because
Yeah.
then it'll spoil it for me. Or people are like, I felt it was okay. Like there are people who cried, people who thought it was just okay, and people who hated it. So it runs the gamut.
You know,
um,
to be non-spoilery, I think I my feeling about the WandaVision finale is that it suffered from the hype that MCU fans put into it.
hmm.
So every little Easter egg people were spinning into, and this means this for the world and
Oh,
this
yeah.
year and the universe, and it's just every single thing we built up that there would be 8 million cajillion things in the finale, and maybe the Easter eggs were just Easter eggs. Everyone is Mephisto. If no one is Mephisto, everyone is Mephisto. We are all the ship of Theseus. The end. Spoiler. Sorry, I just spoiled the whole thing for you.
Thank
Um,
you. Now I don't
yeah.
need to watch it.
So, or it was Mephisto, it was Nightmare. It would just like my entire TikTok was, and it's my own fault, was full of people going like, "Did you see the logo on this thing? And it's the that, and it's this in
Oh
the
yeah, I
comics."
hate that
Yeah.
because it's just
In the end, it's just an Easter egg.
mhm.
Some of them are not. Some of them are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that it suffered from the same fate that the Lost finale did, in
Hmm.
that it was everyone
Too
was
big.
expecting it because
Hmm.
we became such professional sleuths about every single cell of that, like every single shot of that show, that we expected it to be something that it was never going to be.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think it holds up on its own, although there I do have little quibbles of it, but I mean, we can talk. I won't spoil stuff for you, but yeah. What was the Lost finale? So yes, so the point of the Lost finale was, and the last season. Spoilers for a TV show who's been off the air for a decade.
Yeah, it's
The
too late
point
now.
of it is that when you go through something like that with a group of people, with someone, your souls are inextricably linked. And it's like the trauma. And you belong to each other. When you all have that singular experience, you belong to each other. And so you can go your separate ways. And this is like over an entire season, but you're only made whole when the group is made whole, and when you all understand that you are you are like one, you're in it together, and you
Yeah.
are entwined with each other. And that's why
Yeah.
they could only like go to heaven, etc., or quote unquote, when the last person came into the church with their soulmate. So
Mm-hmm.
also I think that Ben and Locke are soulmates, and that's why Locke didn't have a soulmate. And it's very sad that Ben could not go into the church yet. I was fine with the Lost finale, but
Oh,
a
me
lot of
too.
people were
Yeah.
hyping it up to be so much just basically like
Yeah.
problem solving.
The mythology became too big and it overshadowed the like just this what happened to the story. And it's sad because I like the ending too.
I like, thank you. I like the ending too. I'm a Lost ending
So
truther.
there.
Yeah.
So we liked it. So there. This
Yeah.
is now a lost show.
100% of the hosts of this channel. This is a
I
Lost finale truth or
love
twitch
that show.
channel.
That was like one of my all-time favorite shows. It just was so beautifully done. Um,
Oh, Wonder Years. I remember that ending.
Wonder Years was really good. Um,
Have you watched Lost since?
no, I haven't gone back. I haven't been able to. Like, I feel like I finished it and it's hard to go back and do it again.
It's great.
Is it?
It's great.
Maybe I should,
Oh,
knowing the
yeah.
end, I'll feel like find new things about it. But
I
I
didn't
just,
watch it all the way through, but I watched the first couple seasons again after the end, like years later, even just like very recently, and it holds up really well. And the mythology started building a lot more subtly and a lot earlier than we imagined at the time just watching it. Like
that's
they
nice.
mentioned Jacob in episode 1.
Oh, right. Yeah, he was mentioned. Yeah, I believe that. I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. Oh, episode one is one of the greatest. It's great.
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic.
One
I
of the
love
greatest
that
pilots in
show.
history.
So many good shows.
You could watch it.
I am going to what is a you know it's another great show. I'm just going to bring it up and we don't have to discuss it, but The Good Wife is such a good show. That was honestly an old that's like if you want a show to get into that really it's a surprise how good it is. It's
Okay.
amazing. Yeah.
That's what I
Um
hear.
Juliana Margulies is like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so, and it's just like it sustains. Like there are a couple seasons that waver or whatever, but it sustains in its strength, and there's like enough surprises and enough strong storylines that you stay with it the whole time. It's really good.
Okay.
It's like it's one of my all-time favorites, and I didn't know going into it. I was like, I've heard about this, so I'll just watch some of it, and it's so good.
I would have to buy CBS All Access though, right?
Do you?
Uh,
I watched it all on Amazon Prime back in the day.
oh.
I don't know
Well,
now.
back in the day. Let's
Everything
find
now
out.
costs money to do anything, any channel.
Anytime you want
They're
to watch
like,
something, you have to subscribe to a whole new
yeah,
streaming
yeah.
platform.
They're like, we're gonna put this content that you really, really want to see, but now you have to pay $7 a month, and like that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're already paying all the money, you're just like, well, why? Why can't you just let me watch TV? Why does everything? Why do I have to pay $1 million
Right.
for my entertainment? Why?
You
But
can
anyway,
watch it on Amazon with a premium subscription, and I don't know what subscription that is. Oh, if you have Paramount Plus, you can also watch it on Prime.
oh, because
So,
I think that replaces CBS All Access. I think is now
oh,
Paramount.
okay, that makes sense. Although you can buy it. You can buy the season or the episodes. So there's that.
But there's like how many seasons? 9, 8? It's a lot.
But yeah.
It's good. I binge watched it like in a summer, and I was just like,
Wow, really?
oh, it's so good.
I have a friend who just started The Americans, and I was like, congratulations.
I never watched The Americans.
Ooh, it's good.
List.
I didn't watch it until it was over or
Yeah,
close to over.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't like waiting. I don't like waiting every week. Like I want to just give me the answers. Oh, so I don't know if you still want to think about Murder Among the Mormons for Friday. It's very different.
Okay.
It's not heart pounding. It's not The Night Stalker.
Yeah.
It's Mormon, but it's in that intriguing.
Okay.
Intriguing in the fact that it's like very, like I said, the most mild mannered true crime show you'll ever watch. Yes,
That
it
is
is.
on Netflix. Yeah. You know that. Oh, you know that case.
Yeah. Oh, so if you
Amazing.
know the case, then you kind of know the story. But the interviews, like everyone, it's very white.
Well, yes. Yes.
Everybody is supremely white, like the whitest white, and old. But
And they
it's
don't
just
drink coffee and they don't drink
and
alcohol and
so soft spoken and calm. But the story is pretty fascinating. Like there, I found pockets of things where I was like, "That's interesting," or "That's there's a lot about Mormonism I don't know.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, because it's um, I know like
If
cold. I know the
right.
So
You should read Under the Banner of Heaven.
I know. I have it on my list. I just maybe I'll listen to it. Um, because and then last podcast on the left, which I don't usually listen to, has an I think a 4 episode arc. I might be wrong on Mormonism, and I started it and it was really interesting, and then for some reason I got distracted and never finished. But
Oh,
it was really informative. They did like a really deep dive, so maybe I'll go back to that if we talk about it on Friday. Um, but a lot of people like it. I mean, on discussion boards that I'm on, a lot of people are talking
okay.
about it. But like, it's not like, don't go in. I would say to anybody, don't go into it thinking you're going to be like, oh my God, because it's not that kind of, it's very quiet. Somebody on one of the boards that I am on described it as like the nerdiest true crime because it's like
Oh,
about like books and stuff. Like it's you'll see
okay. I can try to
it's
watch that. Yeah.
different. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe having something that's not like pedophilia, abuse,
Right.
sexual assault. It'd be nice for a change.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's like, yeah.
I yeah. I think I'm gonna take a long walk tomorrow and start the Diana episodes of the You're Wrong About podcast. A good wholesome crime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a horrifying crime. It's horrifying. But I mean, the people are so well mannered.
Yeah. It's that
Um,
Midwest nice.
that Utah.
Yep.
Um, I'm gonna take a long walk with Jude tomorrow, I think.
It's gonna be nice. How nice is it?
64 tomorrow.
Woo! That's a t-shirt. Oh
I wore a
boy.
t-shirt today when I ran to the store. So
I turned my heat off. I flirted with opening my windows, but my neighbor opened his windows. So tomorrow, I think it's
I can't
time.
because of my allergies, but
Oh,
I support all the window opening out there.
it's great because my voice teacher is back from her gig in I forget where, and I have a lesson on Friday. And if it's windows open weather, it's gonna be fun for my neighbors.
I think it's going to be raining on
Oh,
Friday.
balls!
I know. It's going to get cold right away and rainy. Sorry, everybody.
False
There's
spring.
tomorrow and Thursday are the nicest days. And of course, my spring break is next week. This always happens.
Oh
That
yeah.
it's beautiful the week before spring break. And then the week of spring break, it rains and is cold the whole time. That's just pretty much how it goes.
It looks like there's a 20% chance of rain, but it's gonna be 67.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're
Yeah.
changing it. Maybe it's getting better and better.
My uncle used to say they always move the rain into the weekend. He's like, if it's the beginning of the week and there's rain on Wednesday, that rain's going to move into the weekend because they don't want to tell you all week that it's going to be a shitty weekend.
Right.
So they
Right. They
hide
want to
it.
give the hopes and then they're just going to dash them right away.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah. A fun, infuriating romp
Mm-hmm.
in a
I yelled.
closet.
I yelled, so that was
You
good.
did yell a lot, a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Whenever I can make people yell,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I definitely yelled at the Oprah interview a lot.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch the Oprah interview. Everyone's talking about
So
it.
good. It's so sad. It's so
Mm-hmm.
sad what they went through that like you can't even imagine it. It's
Yeah.
very yeah.
I read they talk about it now on the news constantly, so I've been able to catch up um by and large. But yeah, it doesn't seem like any lessons were learned after Diana, which is sad.
Exactly. Exactly. Now I'm going to watch it. Was it on CBS? Yes. I will warn you though, there is some talk of suicidal ideation and self-harm. Um so it yeah, but the memes, man, the memes were great. So the way it was like basically, and I'm basing this on a meme, but like Meghan was very diplomatic. I'm not going to name names. Here's a general idea. And then Harry comes in and he's like, I said what I said. It's just very, he's like, oh, do you want the names?
Yeah.
Here is my list of the names. It's very interesting the way that it, like,
Yeah.
because the first half is just her and the second half is them together. And it's
Yeah.
like, I feel like he was waiting in the wings, like, no, tell him tell him what they did, tell him who it was. And then he got in the chair and he was like, all right, it's on. Here we go.
It's also Oprah, right? Like you're
Yes.
like probably beforehand they were like, look, no names. We're gonna be we'll tell the truth, but we're not gonna. And then Oprah's like, tell me more. And then Harry's like, I'm gonna say
No,
everything.
listen, Oprah.
Yeah.
He's
I
just
trust
so
you, Oprah.
happy that someone is listening finally and believes him that he's like, Oprah, it was my dad. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of not strategically not naming names, but also like everyone can figure it out who knows anything. And
Mm-hmm.
they did tell Oprah some of the people. They're what one of the most damning allegations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've heard that someone was like, "We need to have a conversation about how dark your baby's skin is going to be."
Right. Who was that, do you think? His dad or his brother?
Probably Charles, possibly William.
I wondered if it wasn't either. I wonder if it was like a handler like not a family member, but like a handler person.
You know, it could have been, but I don't think that it would have risen to the level of
Mm,
pain that it did
right.
to be that big a deal
Yeah.
if it wasn't coming from the family. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's so much racism. And then I want to read scholarly articles on the pauses where Megan and Oprah are just looking at each other and they're giving each other a look that's like, Oprah, you know, and I know why that is, but neither of us are going to say it out loud on this television show. Like, it's just like, Oprah. Yes, I know. Yes, we know.
Don't you just wish you could be interviewed once by Oprah and just
Yes.
make that connection and have her like just get you and just be like, I see you.
Yes.
Like Oprah, like just have her see you for a minute.
Right.
And you say too many things. Maybe you shouldn't have said them, but they're out there.
And she
Uh,
laughs at a joke that you make that you didn't think was that good. And you're like, oh. And then
and
she
she's
leans in
dressed
and,
so gorgeously that
oh,
you just like part of you is in the moment and then part of you is like, how do you know how to do this? Like, and
right.
also, can I get all your favorite things? Also, can I come to dinner one night? Like,
Right.
it's just,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, it'll never happen. Oprah's never going to interview me, but it's like one
we
of
don't
those.
know.
I
Well,
mean,
hide in a cupboard for 5 years. And then I'll investigate your murder, be framed for it. Someone
Mhm.
else will come forward, and then you can glamorously reemerge.
And I'll just be like, Oprah,
Yeah.
gee, only Oprah understands me. I'll give her an exclusive.
And Oprah will be like, that cupboard seems so small. And you'll be like, Oprah, it was metaphorically as well.
Or we would just look at each other. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
small.
small.
But you know, it's not small. My heart.
Oh my God. And that would be the clip. New York Times. Cupboard girl says heart not small. Birth
Although,
defects?
like with my luck, I'd be like the one person that Oprah's like, I don't
Yeah.
get, you know what? I don't get it. It's not,
Yeah.
we're not, this isn't.
Right. Right. It would be one of those Oprah interviews and not the good
Well,
one.
she's like confrontational and
Right.
like mad. And she's like,
Right.
oh, really? This is what you. Jude has this, he plays this game called Roblox, and there's this one, it's like a, it's like an aggregate that has all these games people
Mm.
make. And there's one game that's like a lawyer game. And sometimes I hear him like playing it, and he's like, are you telling me that you were in the park on Sunday? Like, and I just hear him like, do you mean to tell me? Like he's like an interrogator. And I'm like, he's too good at that. And I feel like Oprah would be the same way with me. You
Yeah,
mean to tell
Oprah
me
would.
you stayed in a cupboard for
Yeah.
5 years? And I'd be like, yeah, my heart was big though. And she'd be like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, Oprah would look at me directly in the eye and I would tell her everything bad I have ever done in my life.
Yeah,
Like, I'm so sorry, Oprah.
I know. Oprah, help fix me.
I love the 30 Rock episode where Tina Fey gets high on a plane and
Oh
thinks she's
yeah,
sitting next to Oprah.
yeah,
She's like, "Can I hug you?" And it's actually just a teenage girl.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man,
Yeah, it would be nice. Well,
maybe I'll watch that. I'll watch 30 Rock.
yeah, 30 Rock is great to watch if you're just like, it's so,
Yeah.
that's another like um comforting show. Although it can be a little bit, it can be cynical.
Mm-hmm.
Parks and Rec is just
Yeah.
hopeful.
Well, that's the difference between Amy and Tina.
Yes.
Tina Fey has that snark, and
Hmm.
Amy Poehler has less of that.
Yeah,
But
she's just,
God, I
yeah.
do. Okay. Well, I don't have Peacock.
Oh,
Fucking. I have cable. I pay for cable. Why now? I should be
I
able to
know.
watch
Just
TV
give it up. I
shows.
mean, at this point, they're pushing me out of cable because I'm like, where are all
Right.
my shows?
Maybe I'll just buy it on Amazon. It's my birthday
Yeah,
week. Um,
you deserve it.
I do. Thank you, Oprah. Yeah, you can buy it from $1.99. Cool.
Well, everybody, thank you
Yeah, thank you for hanging
for
out,
being here.
for
This was
being
really nice. It was nice.
aghast. Yeah.
It wasn't like it wasn't too heavy.
These are the
It
ones that
had,
I love.
yeah, it had like twists. It had laughter. It had tears.
So much TV, so little time. I know.
I know, right?
I'm bummed right now because I feel like there's nothing that I'm excited to watch. There's just all this stuff around that I feel like I would watch eventually that I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
But whatever you're watching, may you enjoy it very, very much.
Mhm.
And we will see you Friday.
You get a chance, watch even just the first 15 minutes of Murder Amongst the Mormons.
So glad you laughed.
It's on Netflix if you have Netflix, and it's like I said, very mild mannered.
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out.
Mhm.
Awesome. Have an awesome rest of your week. Enjoy the weather if you're in Philly and get this nice weather.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.